Hello and welcome back to Systems of Existence, and maybe even the last, first of all, it's a full moon in Gemini as I'm recording, and it might be the last solo episode because I have amazing guests coming up, of course, but I have been getting some requests for kind of like a live update of what's been going on, because I've been definitely feeling the intensity and going through it as everyone, right? But also want to jump in and give you a heads up a bit about what's to come in 2025. Obviously, you might have questions around how am I going to close off this year? How am I going to start into the new year? What can I even expect from the new year? Is it going to be better? All of these questions that we usually have around the end of a year, right? And the starting of a new cycle, we will be talking about today. And I also have a very special announcement to make, which is basically that I would like to celebrate the end of the year with you. So you're basically invited to join me for a workshop on December 27th. I will have all the links down below, obviously in the show notes, and it's going to be a very special closing of the year. I call this workshop Tuning Your Cells for 2025. And what I mean by that really is that I would like to invite you to an opportunity, a journey to really clear the intensity, the gunk, the shit, the trauma, maybe even, whatever you have been going through in 2025, because it was certainly not an easy year. I want us to clear it out of your energetic field, remove it from your nervous system, remove these imprints, so you can be free for a new year and an abundant year, and a year where you really call in and sing into your cells every intention that you have to make it a higher or better, or however you want to say that, vibrational experience, so you can attract anything that you would like to set as an intention for the new year. The 8th year that we step out of and the 9th year that we will move into, I will obviously address in the workshop as well. We will talk about the transits that are going to be intense. I'm not going to lie. When you thought that Pluto moving into Aquarius was a big whammy, well, next year we have so many outer planets changing signs. I'm like, this is going to be a show. So basically Neptune will leave Pisces and enter the first sign of the zodiac again, which is Aries, which hasn't been happening in a while. Neptune was in Pisces since 2011, so we all know that we have all been through a lot since 2011, right? So interesting how that's going to, shift our consciousness. And then Uranus will finally leave Taurus, which is a big one too, because again, Pluto in Aquarius ruled by Uranus. Uranus in Taurus was this huge changing of our DNA and clearing of our DNA, upgrading our energetic potential, which we will also talk about in the workshop, because we will use a new vibrational tool that you can walk away with, that I will work more deeply with everyone in 2025 and officially announce on the 1st of January. But if you are in the workshop, you will get the first-hand experience with me, with the group, and it's going to be so powerful. You will walk away with a tool that make you feel empowered and ready and determined for 2025, which I'm really excited for. And it's the first time you will be able to experience that with me and in your own cells, right? How it shifts your cells on a deep level. I'm so excited for it. I've tried it out with a lot of people. I've been certified in it, all of the things, because I'm so excited about it and just want to give that as a gift and offering to people. And I think, with every new level of energy, we need a new way of helping us. And we really need a new way of integrating the solar flares, the intensity of the astrology, and all of these things. And I haven't even, continued with what's also going to shift. Saturn will also leave the last sign of the zodiac, which is Pisces, and move into Aries again, which wasn't since 1999, which is interesting. So maybe for you, some of you already some bells are ringing. I'm like, oh my gosh, 2011, 1999. Uranus was in Taurus since 2018. So there are lots of like chapters and closing cycles, which makes sense with the 9-year, because that's the final, right? And it's a closing also energy. Jupiter will move into Cancer, which could be interesting. And I see with Jupiter in Cancer, I will talk more about that every lunar cycle will be amplified and on steroids, because Jupiter also makes everything bigger. So it amplifies the emotional experience that we might have for every full and new moon, which has already been intense, right? And that's also why I love to have a new tool that supports me in these alignments, because I'm really much, a sponge to it. And then obviously that also means that Jupiter will make the eclipses even bigger. And that's significant because eclipses also change in 2025 into Virgo and Pisces. The North Node will move into Virgo Pisces, which also means that that entire Neptune shift into Aries will be really important for us. And the Mercury retrograde. So because Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and obviously Pisces rules Neptune. So there are lots of things to talk about from an astrological perspective for 2025. And then obviously if you have planets in Cancer, if you have placements in Capricorn, if you have Virgo Pisces, or even the nodes in Virgo Pisces, or are in Aries, I mean, there's just a lot of activation happening and shifting. So if you would like to have something that supports you along the journey, and also a heads up, then please come into the workshop. It's going to be the best gift you can give to yourself for the end of the year, and to intend a beautiful, beautiful journey for 2025. I'm very excited to also make it a group experience and an intention setting, really, a group purging and also claiming of our new energetic space and capacity for 2025. It's going to be a party, hopefully. I want to make it a party. I'm a Leo, so I'm going to make it a party. If you want to be part of the party, join us. Link is down below. The investment is only $11.11 because I want you to make a wish. I want you to invest in your wish and to claim it into your energetic space. And I'm excited to have a dance party with you. A sing party, a dance party, a song to yourselves, anything you could like or you could think of. It's going to be magical. I'm excited. I'm already excited. I'm going to have a dance party. Anyways, and yeah, I just wanted to drop in here and give you that announcement. That's really what I've been immersing my own selves in, to really study this new modality, to become the master of it, because I know that it's going to be liberating for so many people, and I'm excited to share more about it. It's all about using vibration and creating vibration, I work with the sound vibration. That's also why I have these guests here on the show all day long. It's really what's been guiding me and helping me to navigate anything, and I believe it's the medicine of the future. And if you can use that medicine for yourselves and for yourself and learn how to do it, I mean, what's more powerful? Nothing. And so, yeah, I'm really, really pumped for it, and would love for you to experience it, obviously, firsthand as well. And the first best experience will be on the workshop. So after that, I will be offering sessions around it. And yeah, it's been a magical journey, and interesting too, because Mercury retrograding and stationing direct, and Mars retrograding literally on my Mercury. I've been going through it with my own voice, with my own expression, with my own so much has been shifting. It's been an intense few weeks again, and it's so we always think, oh man, it was already intense, can it get more intense? And I'm like, yeah, I guess there's a new layer. And I know that 2025, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not gonna get easier or whatever, but I think we will have new supportive tools and new ways of working with the energy. So we are not the victim of that. And I would love for you to not be the victim of it and not see yourself as the victim, because we all signed up for it too. There's no point in us blaming the stars or blaming the planets. It's just about us learning how to use these energies in a better way, in a way that we can integrate them more easily, so they don't get the best of us, but we get the best from them, right? Yes. And it's out there, it's possible. We have, we have the luxury. I've done so much ancestral healing too the last few weeks, and specifically with the biofield, and how it holds a specific resonance of your ancestry in your DNA and in your aura and in your auric field and in your electrical field. And I've been talking even to my mom about it, where I said, your mother and even you might not have those tools, and we do, our generation. So it's also our duty to use them and to not be like, oh, it's because of my parents, it's because of X, Y, Z. Like, yeah, we can blame them all day long, but what does it help us really? It doesn't help us at all to blame others or to blame the parents, to blame the blame game, right? And you're just a victim, and you don't understand that you came here as the energy alchemist and have access to all of these tools. It literally comes into your field. It's just on you to use them and to grab them and to do not let these let these transits or let these activations get the best of you. But again, make the best from them, because you came here to even guide and clear the energetic karma, so to speak, from your parents. And I think it's really important for us to be proud of that journey, right? To be proud that we signed up for that. Because then that's an entire energetic shift where you are proud of it and you see it as your assignment. You see yourself as this warrior and not as the victim, So that's also something, because from that space, you also know that if you can create that shift in your lineage, right, in your own cells, then imagine what you can do for the planet. Imagine what you can do on a global level, in your ancestry, in your family, but then for yourself, and you can create an entire new human story. And I think that's what this Pluto in Aquarius also is about, to really step into our own creative potential, our own soul's intention to liberate ourselves through our own expression, through our own creativity as well, which is a big thing with Pluto in Aquarius, the integration point being Leo. So with your own fire, with your own journey, we are still closing off Sagittarius season. Next week we will have the solstice. So it's really about what kind of foundation and framework you want to create for 2025, right? If it is a 9-year, it's also guided by the divine. Yes, we are closing off a lot of chapters, you're closing off karma, you're closing off lots of things, but you also have the opportunity to clear in order to create more energetic space for a new story. For a new story for your ancestors, which is a big thing also for Capricorn season, right? The ancestry, family lines, closing off of that. Pluto moving out of Capricorn has a lot to do with that. It's understanding that whatever also happens in your cells, in your body, in your human experience, is so much not always yours. It's not always yours. And to be able to separate from that to a certain degree and to differentiate, is this really actually mine that I'm carrying? Or am I still carrying stuff from my mother, from my dad, from, whatever it may be. I had this huge thing when I did ancestral clearing with the biofield. All of a sudden last weekend, I cannot explain to you, I've never had issues with it before. And all of a sudden I had these days where I was so much craving alcohol. I just wanted to have a drink. I wanted to have a drink. And I was like, what is happening? And obviously, again, I've been working with the biofield, and we've done this sequence on the liver and the ancestral line and, the post-war era where people came back, and in order to cope with their pain and their anger and their sadness, they were numbing themselves out with alcohol. And I was just listening to that and be like, obviously whenever you work with stuff like that, purging can happen, and I know that, but I never thought that the purging could also happen in terms of like me actually going through that experience of craving that substance in order to numb a specific emotion. I've never had that before. It was really powerful. And I did it in a way where, or I met this urge where at some point I just literally couldn't resist anymore. And again, it's not my usual thing because I am so afraid of losing control. Like I'm more like a control freak, right? And I've never really had these issues with alcohol. It's more like the controlling thing where also my eating disorder came from and all of these things, right? It's like I need to control everything. So the opposite is pretty scary for me. I'm like, wait a second, where is this coming from? But it also feels good, like what is happening, right? And so I allowed myself to go into that experience because I kind of felt intuitively, obviously just take this with a grain of salt, I was like, if I stay in resistance towards it, I feel like I'm missing some opportunity here. And so I gave into it and allowed myself a glass and noticed what my mind did, what my energy field did, and all of these things. I'm like, this is interesting. And then I had something else to do, but my mind was planning to have another drink later. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting, but I'm gonna get, because sometimes, you have to get full into it in order to purge it out. And I was like, okay, maybe I have to go full into it because I've never allowed myself that in order to get it out of my system. And I was pouring myself another drink. And it was interesting because it was before I had a call with my dad. I had this huge urge to have a drink. I'm going to have a call with my dad, but I can't. And he was like, I'm going to be a little bit late. I'm like, perfect, I'm going to just have a drink. And so I had this drink and I was kind of like going into the call with my dad and like, not drunk or anything, but I was just like, I felt just calmer and like easier to cope with it or whatever. And I love talking to my dad. It's not like, so it kind of was weird, but it was a really rough emotional day. And then afterwards, I was like, okay, I can go to my next drink. And I was noticing and observing myself doing that. And literally in the split of a second, I was like, this is so not you. And I started to smile and literally could see how this pattern of my ancestry was running through me so I could be the pattern interrupt right here, right now. And I was looking at the second glass that I pulled and was like, gosh, it's so easy. I can just put it away and put the vibration and energetic information into the field that this would not help. And I did it. I did that. I was literally putting it out into the energetic field of my ancestors. This does not help. Because I saw when I had the first drink, it helped for a second, but then I still had these emotions. And yes, the opportunity is there to be like, okay, then more, but I know. And I put it into the cells, like the information into the cells of the entire ancestral line, that it would only mean that we need more, but it doesn't help. So it's not a holistic approach. What I did instead, you can call me crazy, I poured it away and literally went back to what I usually do, which is I took a huge fucking Epsom salt bath. I cleared it, like the vibration out of myself, and indulged in self-care, did a face mask, listened to sound, listened to vibration, saged the fuck out of the apartment. I was like, it's done. Like that pattern was just cleared. And ever since I have not had the urge again. Do I know what my parents do and my grandma and whatever? I don't know, right? But I know that it definitely sent out a signal into the vibrational field of my ancestry line. And I do feel that it's for sure out of my system. And it was a really magical experience to see how sometimes these patterns of ancestry really run through our system. And I wanted to just share that also because I think that's something we can address even in the workshop as well when we meet together and clear 2024 out of our system and not let these patterns that might also have started for you in 2024. Maybe you've created new patterns that are not serving you anymore and you would like to clear them out, right? And instead of continuing for them to run your operating system when you don't want that to run your operating system, it's important for you to know that you have ways to clear it out. You have tools to clear it out. And I, again, offer you a new tool maybe that you can use in the workshop, and then also walking away with it. And then obviously if you would like to go deeper into any sort of like addiction, mental illness, physical illness, you know, we can really go on into a really deep level here, because I am speaking about vibrational medicine, and I love that I am able to offer that starting 2025. So if you would like a taste of what again, the workshop is out there for you. We will talk about the experience of 2024 and what it really was, and then also again clear the air for 2025. And I think that's the biggest focus we should have, to set up a new slate, to not bring those old burdens from this year into the next year and feel like, oh my gosh, because it was this intense and there's more intensity coming, the next year also has to be a shit show. I don't think that it's a good vibrational energy to enter a new year, and that's why I wanted to offer this workshop, and I would love for you to come. If you have any questions around it, DM me on Instagram, MagicKathyOfficial. Other than that, obviously there is all the links below down in the show notes, and also you know where you can find me, and I will probably send out emails. Please don't miss this opportunity. It's the best way for you to celebrate that you also made it through this year, and obviously if you want a heads up for the next year as well. And I'm going to shut up now. Please share and spread the word for this episode. It always means the world for me. And also let me know what else you would like for me to talk about, because those invitations are always the best, you know. And someone saying, hey, give us a live update of what you've been through, that's sometimes enough for me to have the energy again to record a podcast, because other than that, I'm like, no one wants to hear from me, you know, who cares? And that's just my little Gene Key shadow sometimes creeping up in my core wound of, I'm not having an influence and I'm not significant. Anyways, so spread the word, share the episode on Instagram so other people can join in as well, and I see what you are doing and that you have been listening. It always means the world to me. And yeah, without further ado, we will definitely be back with another amazing podcast interview soon, and also hopefully I will see you on the workshop. Please join us, and yeah, spread the word for it as well. Invite friends, you know, let's have a cosmic party for 2025. I'm excited for it. So hopefully see you soon. And with all of that being said, we will be back very soon with another System of Existence.